Christmas time, of course, brings on bunches of movies, and John Tibbetts, as usual, has seen them all, and he joins us today with some recommendations. First of all, the Muppet Christmases.
Well, I'm going to paraphrase Tiny Tim. Heaven help us, everyone. Muppets Christmas Carol, I'm sorry, I'm going against the tide here, but I didn't like it. Now, it seems like a great idea. The Muppets in Dickens's London.
Sure, it makes sense.
And Kermit and Miss Piggy, and Michael Caine is a terrific Scrooge. But what happens? The thing runs out of steam about a half hour in. Paul Williams' songs are absolutely forgettable. Kermit and Miss Piggy have nothing to do. Only a few minutes of screen time.
Did the kids like it in the theater?
The group I saw it with was very quiet. That either means they were attentive, they were asleep, they had visions of sugar plums for another evening in mind. I'm not sure.
Not too good,
Kind of too bad. And at one point, it's a telling moment. Gonzo and Rizzo, who are our narrators, say to us, hey, this is getting too serious. Let's go out and take a break. I'm wondering if they're recommending that to the audience, like the Marx Brothers did one time.
Okay, what else?
Home Alone 2. This is the most violent movie. Everybody says it's just a cartoon. Cartoons are more violent than anything else on TV. Right. And now, in the movies, this Home Alone 2, it takes Macaulay Culkin almost an hour to pummel, pound, and electrocute these two villains. And he does another scam that parents should watch out for. He shows you how to use a dad's credit card.
Oh, really?
So, folks, when you leave the theater, have one hand on your wallet and watch out for flying bricks because there's all kinds of object lessons out there that I think are kind of unfortunate. Next, we have Dracula. It's really called Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Right, and it's not. It can't.
Which is irrelevant. I mean, nobody knows who Bram Stoker is. It rarely comes within shouting distance of Bram Stoker.
Of the original, right.
And it's at its best when it's imitating an old 1922 black and white silent German movie called Nosferatu. Hey, you can get Nosferatu at the video store for $1.
It's great. It's fun.
Yeah, it's just $1, okay? The Distinguished Gentleman, Eddie Murphy. Again, I didn't like it because the usual con is, okay, you're an idealist, you go to Washington, and you get corrupted. In this case, Murphy is already a scam artist. He goes to Washington, and he reforms. Why? Does he go to visit the Washington Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial? Does he do a Jimmy Stewart routine idealism? No, he falls in love with a beautiful young activist. Now, that's patriotism. Now we have Malcolm X. Well, I just think Spike Lee cannot make up his mind what he's going to do with Malcolm X. I mean, by turns, he's doing jitterbugs, and he's wearing zoot suits, and it's a very artificial film. Then we have shafts of light and prison conversions and marches to Mecca. And then we have long passages at the end where it's just speech-making. Now, I think it's really too bad here, but what it has going for it is the great Denzel Washington.
Oh, he was superb in that.
Now, I am behind no man or woman or child or whomever in my admiration for Denzel Washington. This
we
guy
are
is
just
really
about
fine.
out of time, John. We've got to jump in.
The two best.
Do you like anything?
Yeah.
Anything?
Sure.
All right.
Aladdin and A River Runs Through It.
Great.
Aladdin is fast and sharp and sarcastic, and it's a takeoff as much as anything on Disneyland and Disney World.
Really?
He's a huckster. He's a Monty Hall type, the genie.
The kids like this one too, right?
The kids love it, and A River Runs Through It. If there is one movie that the family should see together for the holidays, it's Robert Redford's A River Runs Through It, and you're going to want to go out and grab a fly rod and head for the trout streams, if any are thawed out this season, I guess.
I can't believe. So these are the two good ones.
Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to seeing how people react to Forever Young with Mel Gibson. A very fine, gentle, romantic comedy. I did indeed. And the movie that I'm really watching for is Steve Martin as a Kansas evangelist in Leap of Faith. More on that one later.
John, thanks a lot.
You bet.
Something to look forward to. Okay, we'll be back with Mr. Food before we close.
Through the years, the mothers of America...
War. As John Tibbetts reports, this is a story where you can take nothing for granted.
She knew his face.
Go say hello to your daddy, son.
His touch. His voice.
I'll be damned. Foot's 2 sizes smaller now.
You are not my husband.
Nothing is quite what we think, or it seems. We can at least go that far, okay? As in life. Indeed. And, you know, it's an adventure to watch a movie where suddenly you're alerted to the fact that, be careful, don't take necessarily everything literally. That's fun to watch. And it's been a while since I've had as much fun like that in watching.
It's real fun to play, too. Real fun. I know Emil had a great time directing this, and it was great fun for actors to play that when there are secrets and lies and half-truths that are intoxicating everything.
You are not Jack Sommersby, so why do you keep going on pretending that you are?
How do you know I'm not?
I know because...
How do you know?
I know because I never loved him the way that I love you.
So it is a fable, you know, it really is a folk tale myth. And to follow that and to believe in that, you can't make fun of the movie. And I think sometimes movies, in order to be hip and trendy, make fun of themselves. They start making vertigo jokes. Or, you know, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, where you get vertigo jokes all over the place because the filmmaker doesn't believe in himself to think that he can actually get the audience's attention by being straight.
Which is tougher, to recreate a period back in a biblical time, like King David, or something a little closer to home?
Oh, this is
like
much easier, sure.
It's easier.
Well, we have photographs,
Yeah.
you know, of this period, which is where I do most of my work, and certainly made our life pretty easy in
But
terms
the
of...
photographs mean you're held closer to account, in a sense,
Which
too.
is good. Which is good. You know, I think the photographs lie to a certain extent because even most of the photographs that we have of that period, the film was extremely slow, which meant that people had to stand still or sit still, stay still for a long time to get the exposure without blurring. So we tend to see people who are much stiffer than they were in real life.
So if we find that the Civil War reconstruction has stepped out of that frozen frame and come alive, would you be happy with that as a result?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to do a museum piece.
Can you learn about a character by stepping into her clothes, as it were, here? How they moved, how you would have been encumbered or not encumbered by those
Certainly. I wish that was all you had to do. I mean, there are other things, too, but I guess... you know, I just try to feel what's right for the piece, you know, what the character's going through, where they're headed, where they start and where they end, and what the journey is, and what her function is for the other characters as well. I mean, it is a story about two people that have these two layers, the public and the private, and each of them is having a struggle with those two things.
Jodie Foster is in Sommersby. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV5. We're in New York City.
You know, that's not exactly my favorite time of history.
I was kind of mesmerized by that. It looked intriguing. They really threw you left Kurt in there.
You like Richard Gere. Jody's kind of good looking,
They
too.
both look good.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we'll be back with more right after this.